When the voices do come, I scream a lot at myself and I'm very angry. It's just like being trapped in a box, a black box, and you can't get out. Hi, my name is Melissa Mary Hill. I am a mother of 5, a sister and a nan, and I have the illness of schizophrenia. I am more than a label. When people find out I've got schizophrenia, they're more scared than anything because not many people know about the illness of schizophrenia. They only see the illness instead of being educated on it. Like a lot of people with schizophrenia, they like to be by themselves and like to do things by themselves. And when we have people in our lives, if they don't understand our illness, it makes us worse. If you understand what I mean with the different personalities that we have. Sometimes I'm myself, Melissa Mary Hill, and that's when I'm stable and I don't really have any problems. But if I come into a problem or something like an argument, or even if it's just walking sometimes, I have a couple of split personalities. The boss takes over when it's an argument and the nurse inside protects me from the boss but explains to me why the boss is going off at the time. And that's where we get into trouble a lot with our split personalities, because people don't realise with a split personality, it happens like that. So I have like 7 split personalities and I know every single one of them, and I can control the split because I've been dealing with this since I was 5 years old. I am now 45. So I'm well and truly aware of my split personalities when they happen, on which one is taking over at the time. What triggers I have, you have to be careful sometimes in what you say to me, because I just don't know how to control the anger inside of me. So sometimes I'll just blurt out and like say things I don't really mean. And because people don't realise the illness, they don't forgive you. They don't understand that it was the illness at the time, not actually me, Melissa Mary Hill. A bad day for me in the illness of schizophrenia is yelling at myself a lot. I've got voices in my head with my schizophrenia, but the illness takes the medication, so it stops the voices. But when the voices do come, I scream a lot at myself and I'm very angry. It's just like being trapped in a box, a black box, and you can't get out. And all you do is just want to get out of that box. But you have to deal with what the illness is at the time, because I have so many split personalities at the time. I had to deal with all these different sort of illnesses. So some of them I get depressed and suicidal. I've attempted my life 3 times because of the illness of schizophrenia. I have also had other challenges of, I was made a ward of the state when I was younger, so I got raised by welfare and didn't really have much to do with my family, didn't even know I had family. So all those sort of things I've had to deal with, and that's why when I'm in the illness I get very angry and I scream a lot, because I see that it's not my fault and it's not fair what I still have to go through this day and age, being 45. You can't stop it if only the medication. It doesn't actually stop it, it just keeps it at bay. When I was younger it was more of a hassle, because children in the schoolyards and that pick on you about like having a split personality. When we're younger we don't really know how to control it, but that's what the boss is for. He teaches us how to do all that sort of stuff, control it and manage our anger with inside and not let it come out. Because when you get split into like several ones, that boss also has to look after the other split personalities also. Some of the misunderstandings that people have against our illness is when we react, when we're not normal, another personality will come in, and that's what scares a lot of people, because they see us in one state one day and then maybe in our schizophrenic illness state the next day, so they don't know how to approach us properly and deal with us when we're in our illness stages. I sometimes have discrimination against me because of my illness, but most of the times because I take my medication, I'm stable. So I just mainly just stick to myself and not really worry about what other people have got to say. A lot of people don't like taking medication because they think they have magical powers with their split personalities, and that's what makes them stable. But they think that's normal, but it's not normal. Like, until you take your medication and all the voices and that are shut down in your head, that's when you can lead a proper life. What broke me was the children, being a mum and not wanting to have that illness anymore.
People would say you can't be a mum and have a mental illness, or if you've got a mental illness you can't be a mum. Do you agree with that?
That's wrong. Because as I says about the boss and the nurse and then myself, the boss won't let us hurt our children. The boss protects the children also that we give birth to. So we're more aware of keeping our children protected, because with schizophrenia, it happens when you're molested as a child. You get split personalities. So that's why it's aware that he protects the children, because he understands that it's not the children's fault, it's something that happened to me as a child. My children know all of my split personalities, so they know how to approach me and talk to me when I'm having my split personality changes. What I wish people would understand about schizophrenia is that it's not our fault. It's something that was taken away from us, our normal life as children. So when we get older, we then also have to deal with what happened to us to control the split personalities. So I think that people should be more aware of treating us normal than treating us as an illness. People just need to understand that we do have split personalities, and if we trust you, we'll let you talk to that split personality. If people open up and talk about it and identify the past where the trauma is, it's easy to deal with it. They should stay medicated, because medication helps stable the different moods, and if you stay on medication you don't have to deal with different moods and stuff. You are one person. So I recommend taking the psych medication. You do need to have it to have quality of life. I'm not that bad, but some schizophrenic people think that they're getting sent signals through tallies and stuff. I'm not one of those people. I don't know what they went in their abuse to receive that sort. Every schizophrenia's abuse is different with the schizophrenia illness.
So what do you do when the clouds come? Like, do you lock yourself away? Or
No, I start saying prayers and go out for walks and stuff like that. And I find if I do that, it stays at bay and doesn't come near me. So I am 45 now, and in those times I have achieved awareness of the illness. I have achieved taking my medication to stay stable, and I have also achieved to raise 5 children and 4 grandchildren at the moment. It was hard, but everything's hard when you get the first challenge of something in your life, and then it's like get given a job. When you're in that job, you get taught how to do the job. It's like us with our schizophrenia, we get taught how to stay stable. and achieve what we want. Like a lot of schizophrenic people work in a workplace, or they are doing really good with their schizophrenic, and I see myself as stable and doing really well.
What false myths do you think people have about your mental illness?
The false myth that I think that they have about our illness is because most people are scared of us, they don't really understand what we go through, and the myth needs to be stopped and the truth put in place of people like me that are willing to educate the population and understand what really goes on with us inside our heads and our bodies. My advice to people with schizophrenia would be to open up, talk about your illness. It doesn't help to have it locked up inside, because then you're not dealing with the problem, you're still living in the past, and it's a good thing to break out from the past. I have done that myself and I've come so far, and I don't mind talking about it because, as I said, it's not our fault, and that's what I would like other schizophrenic patients to understand, that it's not our fault, and it does help to open up and talk about it for those that don't realise that people are out there to help us and see what our different life is like compared to a normal person. I have schizophrenia, I have 5 children, and I've lived a happy and healthy life.